Sagittarius and Sagittarius cross watchers to your mini weekly love reading. So we're going to get a card for you, a card for your person, and a card for the situation between you. So Sag, I feel like you are, this might be a specific read. Sorry, I'm trying to tilt it so you can see it. With the Eight of Swords here, I feel like you aren't actually being held back by whatever these thought processes or ideas are, but I feel like you're allowing yourself to be held in place, or not even held in place. It's like, it seems to be beneficial for you right now for other people to believe that you believe those things. You know what I mean? It's almost like if you stay where you are for, just a hot minute, actually a lot of that stuff that people are seeing as holding you back is kind of acting as a bit of a barrier between you and whatever nonsense is going on over there. For example, and this is just the imagery on the card, so please don't get too hung up on the genders. For example, let's say you're a maiden here, or you're, a child, and there's two people over here, two knights, let's say, that are fighting it out for you. For example, the Game of Thrones, it's like Arya when the Hound and Brienne of Tarth were fighting. So it's like these two are trying to fight to see who wins, and I feel like you're over here, maybe not like Arya, but just kind of waiting for them to figure out, or not waiting for them to figure it out, but it's like you're just kind of waiting for them to tire themselves out long enough until you can, it's like until they get so involved with what's going on between the two of them that you can kind of slip away unnoticed here. And it's like you do seem to pick up this sword and take it with you and you leave all this behind. So Sagittarius is a person. So, okay. We have the Emperor and the Six of Cups. Ooh. Okay. There's a lot of guilt coming from this person. They seem to feel, it's almost like sometimes they might get mad at you. Hold on. Because of how much they like you. It's a strange thing to say. So that's why I was kind of stumbling with it. I feel like this person feels really guilty. I mean, of course, that reason will be different for everybody, but they definitely feel like, not that they feel that they have something that they don't deserve necessarily, but it's almost the energy of, and obviously this, won't be the actual situation. They were the golden child. They were given all of the opportunities and you weren't, right? And so it's like, of course they succeeded and you've struggled. So obviously this is a love read. So I mean, it wouldn't be a sibling, right? But it's that kind of an energy. I feel like this person, they do feel a certain responsibility to the predicament that you're in. It's almost like there was something that they were careless about that's put you in this spot. You know what I mean? It's like they were dismissive or careless to you when they kind of not owed you, but it's almost like the connection between the two of you started really sweet, started really kind. And it's almost like this person got caught up in, it's almost somebody that kind of gets famous really quickly and then, and in the process, lets the real ones go that have been with them since the beginning, sort of thing, right? So it's that kind of an energy. I feel like to a certain, it's like you're over here waiting for those two to tire themselves out so you can get out of wherever you are. And this one here, it's like they also seem to be waiting for those two to finish fighting it out because they want to see what's going to happen. I almost want to say they want to see if you're still you, if you're going to get yourself out of it. It's almost like if you can't get yourself out of it, this person seems to kind of want to help you out. But if that's what happens, if they feel like they have to help you out, like you can't do it yourself, it's almost like they'll be disgusted with you. I don't know. I'm getting a little... I might catch an attitude about this person, so I'm just letting you know. I apologize in advance. It just feels like there's, they're playing both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? It's like they feel all this guilt, but then they're resentful when they... So, like, pick a side. Anyway. And I feel like if you took the sword up, I mean, because that's exactly what you plan to do, and you got out of there, it's almost like they seem to feel that what they have to offer you would be too restrictive for you. You know what I mean? It's like they see you as too much of a free spirit to be tied to them or to their situation. Let me break that down a little bit more. It's almost the energy of like maybe the two of you could have been, the Emperor and Empress, and again, assign the genders as it applies to you, right? But they seem to feel now that it's like you've been through so much that they seem to... It's almost the energy of, it's like there's been times where you've had to fight for your life, for example. Again, may not be the actual situation, it's the energetics of it. But it's like there's times where you have had to fight for your life. So having to listen to people talk about, gossiping about things that don't matter, it's not going to sit well with you. They seem to, it's almost like if you were to be around them now, they would be ashamed of what they've surrounded themselves with. It's almost like it would be, they would feel like they almost dishonored the connection that the two of you had, or the investment that you put in with them, by, I almost want to say, like, by making their life about something that neither of you ever saw mattering. At least when the two of you were together. They do seem to really long for this time with you. It's like they are all caught up in their feelers. If you have been kind of randomly having thoughts about this person recently, I want to say that, like, sorry, my nose is running. I don't actually feel... It's kind of like if you're, just standing here doing your thing, and I feel like there's a thought about them that comes into your head, and like, oh, where did that even come from? I wasn't even thinking about that. It's actually because this person is all up in their feelers. I feel like there's a real heavy guilt. I feel like when they have that kind of guilty feeling, it's like that's the strongest feeling that comes from them. And I feel like that's when there's almost kind of like an energetic connection made there. So I'm just going to make sure the deck is upright. Can we get a card for situation between them? Holy Hannah. So we have the Eight of Cups and Temperance, which of course is the Sag card, right? So, I mean, hold on for a second here. I don't really know what this person's friggin' problem is, but it's like they want you to be free, but they want us to put you into this, like, fit you into this box so they can take you out and play with you when they want. You know what I mean? It's like they want to be the kind of like leader of the pack that they are, where it's like where they can kind of be selfish and they can take things that it's almost like they want to continue to be the person that they are, that they know that you would be ashamed of, or that it's like it would really rub you the wrong way. But in that same light, it's like they just kind of want you to get on board with that, if that makes sense. I feel like they kind of want you to, it's like, this might sound very strange. They want you to come in and like kind of placate them, but they also don't want you to do that because it's like then the vision of you, the memory of you would almost be tarnished. I feel like from your perspective, I mean, I think I'm going to pull a card, but I don't really see you wanting anything really to do with this person. It's almost like if the two of you passed each other on the street, you wouldn't even recognize them. You seem to be kind of focused on some sort of ideal. Maybe it's an ideal life, an ideal situation. I feel like there's some sort of goal that you're, excuse me, that you're working towards right now. And I feel like you've kept it pretty close to the chest. It's like either nobody knows or very few people know. You know what I mean? It's almost like this Emperor really does actually admire you quite a bit. It's almost like they know that if they had had the life that you've had, they wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have been able to make it into what you've made your life into. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the energy of you're somebody that it's like you have picked yourself up and dusted yourself off and have kept going so many times. It's almost like they kind of don't know how you wouldn't feel defeated at this point. And not that they would want you to feel that way, but it's like if you're somebody that has gone through a situation where you were kind of taking hits on every side, they don't seem to know how it is that you're still standing. And it's like the fact that you have stayed that you have kept going, it feels like it's the biggest sign to this person that it's almost like it was the wrong person to... Hold on for a second. It's almost this energy of like, they feel that because you handled things as best as you did and you didn't let it like turn you into this kind of like a monster, they seem to feel that the opportunities that they have been given have been wasted on them. And maybe they're aware of that, and maybe they're feeling that guilt, but I don't see this person changing what they're doing anytime soon. It's almost like they have put themselves too firmly into the energy that they're in to actually change. I feel like this Temperance card, we're just going to actually... Hold on for a second. I'm going to be straight with you here, Sag. This person, I feel at times, may even kind of like daydream about what a life with you would be like. Or it's almost like if they could go back to before all these walls between the two of you were built. You know what I mean? It's like maybe this is the person that threw all those bricks at you, and I almost feel like either you kept catching them, or when they fell, it's like you started to use those bricks to build a wall. And I feel like you used things that they tried to weaken you with to make yourself stronger. And now they're sitting over there probably feeling, well, from what I'm seeing, it actually feels like feel that they were short-sighted and that they could have had somebody that it's like you're not someone that's just a yes man, right? It's like you would have told this person what you really felt. Whether you were right or wrong, they knew that they could have honesty with you. And I feel like they don't really feel that with many people, if anyone, right now. This might be specific. I feel like this person wishes that they had walked away with you. May not be the actual situation, but it's almost like, let's say the two of you worked at the same place, and that place was treating you very poorly, not paying you properly, that sort of thing. And it's like you walked away. And it hasn't been easy. But you seem to have made your own way. Whereas this person may have stayed there and kind of eaten the crawl that they needed to, and it's like maybe now they're on top, but it's like it's an ill-gotten gain, right? It's like they know that the reason they have so much is at the top is because it's not being, it's like the people at the bottom, they're not getting paid properly. You know what I mean? It's like they know that it's kind of like dirty money. And I feel like they seem to feel that they were strong enough to live honestly. So I feel like we have to pull one more card on this Temperance. Queen of Cups. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Listen. Okay. There's a couple of different messages coming through with this, so just give me a second here, Sag. I feel like, for some of you, this actually may be a third party. Not that kind of a third party, right? But it's like, it actually feels like this person, your person has some sort of connection to this one, and it actually feels like they see that person as having that same almost innocence about them that you did. And I feel like your person knows that they're going to, that, you know, their surroundings, their life is going to grind that person into a fine dust. And I think because they have, to a certain extent, become a bit heartless, I feel like they're going to do that. For others of you, I feel like this person is telling themselves that you are hiding your feelings, that you are, it's almost like they know in their heart that it's not true, but I feel like they're telling themselves that, like, you're still madly in love with them, and you're waiting for them, and you're this, and you're that, and it's like, you may be here, but it's almost like this is a strange thing to say. It's like they want you to love them, but they would be disgusted with you if you did. So I think I'll leave it there, Sag. I apologize if that was confusing. It was for me. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. If you'd like a private reading with me, my email's below in the description box. Private readings will be closing again soon, but I will reopen them probably in a couple of months or a month or so. So if you're new here, I post on Thursdays and Sundays, and I do have kind of a special read coming up for Valentine's Day, so if you'd like to keep an eye out for that, I'd love to have you there, and we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.